Hello, welcome to the webinar on After the Executive Orders, Why GSA Contracts Are the Future of the Federal Business, held by GDI Consulting. My name is Cal, and I am your artificial intelligence host today. With me is Ab Vand, VP for Capture at GDI Consulting, and a subject matter expert on these opportunities. With over 30 years of hands-on experience in proposal writing and capture management, Ab has led teams across every major procurement type, from complex self-scoring bids to traditional federal proposals and full-spectrum capture strategies. His expertise spans across defense, IT, and health sectors, and he's managed over 1,000 successful proposals and capture efforts. He's not just a practitioner, he's also a recognized thought leader in the GovCon space. His insights have been published in many leading government contracting publications. He's also passionate about training and knowledge sharing, having delivered capture and proposal webinars for APMP chapters and Apex accelerators, formerly known as PTACs, across the U.S. Before starting, there are a few housekeeping notes I would like to mention. First, this webinar is being recorded, and the link to the recording will be sent to you within 24 hours. Second, we will hold a Q&A session at the end, if time permits. You can send your questions during the webinar by the chat system to the right of your window, and Ab will address them at the end. Third, you can download this presentation by clicking on the link under File on the right-hand side panel on your window. We highly recommend you download the slide deck so that you can always refer back to it. So let's see what this webinar covers. We will first have a quick glimpse on GDI Consulting's capabilities. Then, a short discussion of some of the most important executive orders and what they entail. Next will come a discussion of how the federal buying behavior is shifting in the new administration. Then Ab will deep dive into the GSA's most important contract vehicles and how you should take advantage of them. We will conclude by answering any questions you might have. So feel free to type in your questions in the chat system as we go along. Okay, let's first very quickly introduce GDI Consulting for those of you who are new to our webinars. GDI Consulting isn't just another federal proposal firm. We're a metrics-driven partner with over 15 years of solid performance in the government space. In the past year alone, we achieved 34% growth in revenue, an 18% increase in IDIQ and GVAC wins, and a 31% jump in new clients, proving our momentum is only accelerating. Our average win rate over the past 3 years, 81% across all proposals. But when it comes to self-scoring proposals, that jumps to 98%. That's because we take a disciplined approach. If we believe a client won't be competitive, we advise a no-go. We only pursue winnable opportunities. Our bench is deep, over 50 full-time proposal managers and writers, with 84% bringing 20-plus years of experience across nearly every federal agency. Backed by a network of more than 200 subject matter experts, we bring both scale and expertise. In 2024 alone, we helped clients win 289 multi-million-dollar proposals, totaling over $19.6 billion in awarded contracts, including 6 multi-billion-dollar wins. Some highlights: 98% win rate on self-scoring bids, 82% win rate on DoD opportunities, over 300 repeat customers, 86 large clients, including some of the top 10 defense contractors. At GDI Consulting, the numbers speak for themselves. We don't just write proposals, we help you win. At GDI Consulting, we support government contractors with the tools and expertise to compete and win in the federal space. Starting with proposal development, we help assess your eligibility and scoring potential, then support you through the full proposal process, from task orders to GSA Mass to GVACs, like OASIS Plus and Alliant 3. For self-scoring bids, we know what it takes to maximize points. Need more help? Our staff can step in through proposal reviews or full staff augmentation. On the capture management side, our team builds custom strategies to help you identify and position for the right opportunities, especially through vehicles like GSA Mass, OASIS Plus, Polaris, or Seaport. We also offer Capture Edge, our in-house platform to streamline your capture process from planning to pursuit. Our support services cover the rest: competitive intelligence, black hat reviews, and price-to-win analysis. We also assist with accounting readiness for DCAA or DCMA audits, making sure your systems and pricing are audit-proof. And finally, we offer training, from capture planning to proposal development, to equip your team with real-world actionable skills tailored to the federal market. Whether you're a small business or a growing prime, GDI Consulting is your partner for long-term, smart federal growth. Specific to GSA contract vehicles, we offer targeted support to help you succeed on them. It starts with a free consultation to assess your position and goals. For GSA Mass, we handle onboarding, SIN additions, and change management. If you're going after OASIS Plus, Alliant 3, or Polaris, we provide complete proposal development, from scoring to submission. Already on a contract? We support task order proposals too. We also help build your pipeline, manage capture strategy, and deliver business development consulting that aligns your growth with where the market is headed. Whether you're new to GSA or scaling up, we'll help you win smarter and faster. So that was a short introduction to GDI Consulting. Ab, can you please take over?
Thank you, Cal, and hello everyone. Thank you for participating in our webinar. I know that due to the recent executive orders, everybody is anxious to find out what they should do and what lays ahead in the future. In this webinar, I'm not going to go into the details of the executive orders or other changes in the government created by the government. We will quickly mention these, but move on. I want to give you my perspective as to what we should do rather than just cram you with information about the landscape. So on that basis, let's start with the source of these changes. That is the most important executive orders issued by the Trump administration. I've picked 4 of them, which are more important to us. So perhaps the most important executive order is the one issued on March 20th, 2025, titled Eliminating Waste and Saving Taxpayer Dollars by Consolidating Procurement. This order mandates that the procurement of common goods and services be centralized under the GSA. The goal here is to eliminate duplication and inefficiencies that have been prevalent across various federal agencies. So to comply, agencies are required to submit their consolidation proposals to GSA within 60 days. So that would be in May 20th, maximum, May 19th, we would say. Following this, the GSA has a 90-day window to develop a comprehensive plan to manage procurement across the entire federal government. So this move signifies a significant change or shift towards streamlined and efficient procurement processes. So that's the first one. Now the second one, on April 9th, 2025, another executive order was signed focusing on modernizing defense acquisition and spurring innovation in the defense industrial base. This order aims to accelerate the defense procurement processes and breathe new life into our defense industrial base. Now, I should mention that there is a 5th executive order that I'm not covering here, specific to the DoD, was recently issued. That entails a webinar by itself, so I'm not going to cover that. Now, this places a strong emphasis on speed, flexibility, and effective execution within acquisition processes. Additionally, it encourages the adaptation of commercial solutions. So they're more into commercial solutions now, and utilization of innovative acquisition authorities. A critical component of this order is the mandated review of major defense acquisition programs to ensure they are efficient and aligned with our strategic objectives. And as you know, a lot of contracts have been canceled or de-scoped, so a lot of changes have come out of this. Now, the third executive order was on April 15th. It was introduced to, quote, streamline the federal acquisition regulations, unquote, meaning the FAR. The intent here is to simplify the FAR by retaining only those provisions that are essential and required by statutes. This simplification, so to say, is aimed at reducing the regulatory complexity that usually slows down and hampers procurement practices. Furthermore, the order seeks to align agency-specific regulations with this streamlined version of the FAR, promoting a more cohesive and efficient procurement environment across all federal agencies. So that was the third one. And finally, on the same day, on April 15th, the fourth one, an executive order was issued to, quote, prioritize commercial products in federal contracts, unquote. This directive mandates that federal agencies give preference to commercially available products and services when fulfilling their procurement needs. So commercially available products get the first say. Agencies are required to review any non-commercial contracts and provide justifications for exceptions to this rule. The overarching goal is to leverage existing market solutions, thereby reducing costs for the government and enhancing the efficiency of federal procurement processes. Okay, so those were the fourth, and as I said, there's a fifth one for the DoD, which will be covered in a separate webinar. Moving on, so how is the federal buying behavior, how is it shifting? Let's discuss that in a general term, then I will go into the more specific GSA type discussion. So in recent times, we've observed a significant shift in federal procurement processes and practices. There's a clear movement towards a centralized procurement, primarily the GSA, and that was covered in the first executive order that I mentioned. This centralization aims to streamline processes and reduce redundancy. Additionally, there's an increased reliance on GWACs, government-wide acquisition contracts. So we're going to see more of these being used. These contracts allow agencies to procure a wide range of products and services more efficiently, meaning these GWACs. And then the overarching emphasis is on enhancing efficiency, ensuring cost effectiveness, and maintaining strict compliance with the latest executive orders. So these are what the government is looking for in their acquisition process. So cost is going to be more important for them. And this evolution in procurement behavior underscores the importance of understanding and adapting to these changes that we are seeing. Now, what are the implications of these for contractors? So for contractors, these shifts in procurement practices present both challenges and opportunities. I'm not going to go into the doomsday and discuss a lot of challenges. I want to emphasize on the opportunities. We might see a slow market these days, but I think this is a very short-term period, and we're going to see more opportunities. We just have to understand what is changing to be able to adapt to it. So it's becoming increasingly essential to align with GSA procurement vehicles to remain competitive. This is the most important thing that you should take away from this webinar. GSA is there to stay, and we should try to align with it. This alignment requires a deep understanding of the new procurement processes and the willingness to adapt accordingly. However, for those who position themselves effectively within the GSA frameworks, I think there are going to be ample opportunities to capitalize on. So if you embrace these changes, it can lead to sustained growth and success in federal contracting. These were overall remarks I wanted to make, but I want to now go into more specific items specific to GSA. So let's first discuss the effects of the executive orders on GSA. Okay, so how is GSA handling the new executive orders? So we know for certain that IT-related work will be moved to GSA management. So that's for sure. Most of the IT-related work will be moved from different agencies to GSA. Now, excuse me, there is some ambiguity on niche work like R&D, quantum computing, AI, and that sort of thing, as well as classified work, which I will cover, those from NSA and other IC agencies. So there is some ambiguity on what is going to happen on these. We'll have to see in the coming months how that is going to be handled. Now, Alliant 3 is structured to support emerging technologies, and so many believe this will become the future GWAC everyone uses for emerging technologies, at least. One of the main issues that GSA is facing is towards classified information and classified contracts. GSA currently doesn't have a SCIF to handle sensitive solicitations, and so other agencies are finding ways to say, hey, these GSA guys cannot release their solicitations because so these agencies cannot actually release to GSA because GSA cannot release the solicitations for sensitive sensitive information because GSA doesn't have a SCIF. So they're working towards that, but that has not been solved. So agencies are now using that as a reasoning to say, hey, we shouldn't actually give those types of solicitations to GSA. Also, GSA doesn't have authorization to handle certain parts of federal monies. There are restrictions on those that are, distributed to specific agencies. So there might be some conflicting conflicts there, and they're working towards that to see what they can do about that. And while I believe that these challenges are going to be resolved, but coordinating them will take some time, both the funding issue and the sensitive solicitation type work. These can be obviously resolved, but it will take some time. It won't happen overnight, and especially since GSA is going through major infrastructure rearrangements too, since I'm not going to cover it here, but obviously when they're getting more and more acquisition work, they will need more contracting officers, more staff. They're removing some, adding more. So a lot of changes, infrastructure changes within GSA as well. Okay, now the future of source selection. So this is also an important issue that you should understand. GSA is the prominent agency using self-scoring or scorecard systems. So they've used that for OASIS, they've used it for Alliant, they've used it for HCATs, and a lot of other GWACs and contracting vehicles. And we believe that this will be used more extensively now because one of the reasons they're using self-scoring is less cost, less time, less resources for the government. And that's the motto of this new administration. So I think that they're going to go with self-scoring proposals more and more. Obviously not for single awards, but for multiple awards. I think that's the trend to go with. So there is therefore a necessity to learn how to prepare these kinds of proposals and have the proper techniques and tools. Actually, we at GDI Consulting, we have a basic and advanced training courses for self-scoring proposal development. And I actually highly recommend that you participate in these trainings because self-scoring is the way to go in the future in GSA, and GSA is the way to go for future procurement. Also, GSA has some plans to extensively use AI in the acquisition process, which will change everything completely. Again, this underscores the use of self-scoring, but also underscores the way they're going to actually do their source selection as a whole as well. There's talk that they're going to consolidate different portals, not only for contract management, but for CPARs and everything such as that. And I've heard of a universal, moving towards a universal GSA portal that has a sort of a social media feel. So we'll have to see how that works out. Now, this system is supposed to work like this. The government or GSA will send out automatic notifications to only those businesses that meet the basic criteria of a particular requirement. So it's a phased approach, obviously. Then, through a portal like Symphony or whatever they create, vendors are supposed to provide a technical response, which will be more towards that sort of a self-scoring type, because it's going to be reviewed by AI. When the technical response is completed, the vendor will know right away if they can move to pricing, and if there is orals or any specific requirements, like oral presentation or others, they will know it. So the AI tool will determine if the bid by the contractor is suitable or not. So this is the process that they're working towards. I just wanted you to understand that there's going to be changes in the source selection process as well. And then what's going to happen, because this is some questions, what's going to happen to some of those large contract vehicles that are not with GSA now? Are they going to move to GSA or not? What's going to happen with those? So let's start with NASA SOUP 6. From what we know, it's not going to be canceled at this time, and in fact, evaluation has started. And I know that, if I'm not mistaken, all the protests have been resolved, so they've started evaluation. However, there is talk that they're not going to release work task orders under category B and C, and might only stick to category A. Now, this is not official, obviously, but there's talk about it. So in effect, they're going to put a stop to category B and C at this time and just work with category A. That's the talk. We'll have to see exactly how it develops. CIO/CS is currently not in the radar in GSA, so I don't think GSA is going to take over that. NIH CIO SP3 is in trouble. In fact, anything and everything from NIH, HHS, CMS is actually or should be considered in serious peril. There's talk about agency consolidation, elimination, that sort of thing, and they want to make health research as a whole, give it to private industry. So we'll have to see how that develops. Now, there is an important issue also. The socioeconomic set-asides in many contract vehicles might be in jeopardy too. And I've heard that SBA is probably going to make a statement rather soon about this impact. So we'll have to see. So this was a short, very short brief on what's happening on some of the major GWACs and contract vehicles outside GSA, in case you had questions on them. Now, from here on, I want to deep dive into GSA and GSA vehicles and what you should do about them. I think it's important to understand fully and then base your future work, future capture, future proposal development, and future business on that basis. Okay, so let's start with the GSA Multiple Awards Schedule, commonly known as MAS. This is going to be the most important GSA contract vehicle as we move forward. So it's really important to understand that MAS is going to stay and it's going to be one of the most important or the most important GSA contract vehicle. If you're on it, prepare to use it to its maximum potential. And if you're not on it, by all means, get on it as soon as possible. You don't want to miss that. As a contractor, engaging with the GSA Mass opens up a streamlined pathway to offer your products and services to a wide array of federal agencies. This program not only simplifies the procurement process, but also significantly enhances your company's visibility and credibility within the federal marketplace. Being part of the Mass means you're recognized as a trusted vendor, which can lead to long-term contracts and sustained business growth. The program is designed to help you expand your reach, allowing you to connect with various federal agencies and departments more efficiently. And we'll see that in the next few slides. In essence, the GSA Mass program serves as a valuable platform for contractors aiming to establish and grow their presence in the federal contracting, and more important now. And it provides tools and opportunities necessary for your success. So, as I said, if you're on it, use it to the maximum. And if you're not on it, you should get on it as soon as possible. Now, before moving on or going on and discussing GSA Mass itself, let's start with some of the misconceptions about GSA Mass. Because I've heard a lot of these, and it's stopping many companies to go after it. So, first, a lot of businesses assume Mass only covers supply of commodities, like say office supplies or furniture or even IT, just IT hardware. In reality, it supports over 30 services and supply categories, including IT services, consulting, logistics, and more. Another myth, that you need past federal contracts to qualify. No, that's not it. Many successful Mass proposals offers are backed by commercial or state and local past performance. So by all means, you can use past performance from commercial. You might not have done any work with the government before, but you can use your past performance with commercial or state and local agencies. So some think their contract is fixed once awarded, but GSA Mass is flexible. You can actually submit modifications to add new SINs. That's similar to NAICS. It's emphasizes which market you're going after. And then another myth: it takes forever to get on Mass. Actually, they've changed their systems. So if you have a well-prepared, compliant offer, you can be awarded within a few weeks now. It used to be 6 to 12 months previously, so this was not a myth, so to say. But now it is a myth because they can actually award within a few weeks. Another misunderstanding is that my price list, prices are high, I can't be competitive, and that sort of thing. So the reality we've seen is that many companies are winning Mass task orders, even though they have very high list prices. I'll explain this in the future slides as well, but when you participate in task orders, you do use those pricing, and you can actually provide discounts on them, but that doesn't speak for everything. How well you prepare your proposal, obviously the hours that you're going to use those LCATs, labor categories, and how well you're going to perform your management plan and all of that, depending on the type of requirements for that specific task order, play into the decision that the government is going to make to pick you against others. So price is not, when you're going for task orders under GSA Mass, price is not the determining factor in many cases. Okay, now having said that, let's see what are the benefits of mass for agencies. So it reduces procurement lead times for them. It ensures compliance with federal regulations, and it provides competitive pricing and terms. So these are the reasons agencies are using. But what are the contractor, advantages for contractors? So it provides increased visibility to government buyers, to you as a contractor. It's easier for agencies to discover and engage with your offerings. I'll explain how that is. The sales process is streamlined through GSA platforms, reducing your administrative burdens. And GSA facilitates opportunities for establishing long-term partnerships with agencies, getting sustained business relationships and growth with those agencies. So some numbers, at the end of 2023, there were 14,670 active contractors on GSA Mass, with approximately 80% of them being small businesses. Now, 1,700 new companies, approximately, were awarded in 2024, and more expected in 2025. Since there is no competition, any company that abides with the requirements can actually get on it and then start using GSA Mass. So let's look at some of these numbers. This is the graph that shows the government spending in GSA Mass during fiscal years 2019 till 2024. As you can see, it's increasing each year. With the addition of the new agency's acquisition requests after these executive orders, this will be increasing even more in the coming years. So approximately $50 billion in 2024. $50 billion in just 1 year. Now this shows just GSA Advantage, and also GSA Advantage is the government's online shopping and ordering system. So once you actually get on GSA Mass, your prices are actually automatically shown on GSA Advantage. And you can see that there was a dip in 2020 and 2021 for that. The red line is the actual sales, but it's picking up again. So approximately $650 million was spent each year on GSA Advantage, which is, as I said, it's online shopping. And the number of orders and items have decreased a little bit from, say, if you go for number of items, 1,600,000 in 2019 to approximately 1 million in 2023. But the government spending is picking up again. So this is one of the areas that a lot of contractors are using GSA Advantage, or GSA Advantage is being used for them. It's mostly for purchase of supplies, mostly. So contracting officers come in, look at the pricing of different items and pick one. That's how they actually do it. It's a shopping center sort of system, online shopping. Okay, so that was GSA Advantage. Now, question might be, how do you get on GSA Mass? How do you get contracts on GSA Mass? Not on GSA Mass as a contract vehicle, but I mean the contracts that are provided under GSA Mass. So there are three avenues, three ways of getting contracts under GSA Mass. Your equipment or LCAT, labor category list prices, because you provide that with your offer, with your proposal when you get on the GSA contract vehicle. So those prices are listed on GSA Advantage, which we saw previously. And the government, that was the government online shopping center. And the buyers directly place orders. So this is usually, as I said previously, used for supplies rather than services. So you can see that this is one of the avenues of actually getting contracts from the government. They see your pricing, list pricing, and they buy directly from you. Now, the second way of doing it is that you promote is direct marketing. You promote your services or products to agency buyers and contracting officers. If they're interested, they can place an order using your mass contract as the contracting vehicle. So this is all about relationship building and proactive outreach. So this is the second type of actually going after getting contracts from GSA Mass. And then the third type, which is most commonly used for service providers, is through GSA eBuy. Now, this is where task orders are posted and you compete by submitting proposals. It's competitive, yes, but it gives you the opportunity to position yourself, tailor your offer, and provide pricing advantages. So most service-focused companies rely heavily on this eBuy route to build their pipelines and grow federal business. So these were the three different avenues of getting contracts on under GSA Mass: through GSA Advantage, through marketing, and through participating in eBuy task orders. Okay, now for those of you who are not on GSA Mass yet, now is the time to get in. So as I mentioned, GSA Mass is becoming the government's preferred contract vehicle. The award timeline is now shortened, as I mentioned, a few weeks rather than months. Many agencies are purchasing out direct contracts and shifting to GSA Mass SINs. And delaying registration means missing out on billions in streamlined procurement. So I highly recommend for all of those of you who are not on GSA Mass, whether you are a services company or you are a supply company, both can actually participate on Mass, GSA Mass, and get contracts from the government. And this is the way to go in the future. Okay, now assuming you do have it, so you do have a GSA Mass contract, but you need to expand your SINs. SINs stands for Special Item Number. Or you need changes. So contractors can expand their offerings by adding Special Item Number SINs. So there's no restriction. Once you're on the GSA Mass, you can actually increase your SINs. You usually start with 2. So the first, when you start submitting your proposal to get on GSA Mass, is usually for 2 SINs. But then afterwards, it's very easy to actually increase your SINs. So the process involves submitting a modification request through the government's eMod system. And this process you provide documentation that supports your capability to deliver under the new SINs, things like past performance or pricing information. So expanding your SINs not only increases your visibility to the government buyers, but also enhances your competitiveness. It positions your company to respond to a greater number of solicitations, obviously, and opens doors to additional revenue streams within the federal marketplace. So by all means, if you do need to expand your SINs, do so now. Now that the government is shifting to GSA Mass, you can take full use of that. And obviously, we can help you on that. But okay. Now, assuming that you want to go for the task orders, the third avenue we mentioned. So engaging in task orders under Mass program is a strategic way to secure ongoing revenue. These task orders are specific procurement requests from agencies that fall under the broader Mass contract. As a contractor, you can respond to these task orders, tailoring your proposals to meet the exact requirements of each agency. This approach allows you to build relationship with various agencies, obviously, and demonstrate your ability to deliver customized solutions. So it's a very effective method to establish a consistent presence in the federal contracting space. Now, you should expect to see very large, even over $1 billion BPAs posted on services since from various agencies. Yes, over $1 billion contracts. Obviously, there are multiple award BPAs, but expect to see that in the coming months and years. And obviously, GDI Consulting can offer support in identifying and pursuing these relevant task orders that might be useful to you. Okay. Now, that was GSA Mass. I hope, to sum it up, I hope that I have shown the necessity to get on it if you're not on it, and use it to the maximum if you're already on it, and expand on it. It's the way to go for the future GSA acquisitions. Now, next contract vehicle that we should cover is OASIS Plus. And obviously, OASIS Plus is different from GSA Mass. In GSA Mass, you can submit your proposals anytime during the year. So you can get on it at any time. That's not the case for OASIS. OASIS was bidded for and bidding closed, I think it was November 2023. And during 2024, they actually provided the list of all the awardees. A little bit less, I think, less than 2,000 companies. However, they will have an on-ramp season opening up, and that will be, from what we've heard, late spring, early summer of this year, 2025. So there's an on-ramping period. So if you're not on it, you should get on it. Now, the good thing is this. There's no competition with other companies. As long as you can get a score past a set threshold, you're awarded. And it's a best-in-class BIC designation, signifying that it's a high-performance contract vehicle. And it also supports various business sizes, including total small businesses, 8As, hub zones, STV OSBs, women-owned small business, and unrestricted. So 6 different categories in terms of set-asides. Now, let's look at also the domains, as they call it. This is not an IT services contract vehicle. It does not cover IT, but it covers 8 different domains. So management and advisory, or M&A, encompasses services related to program management, business consulting, organizational improvements, things like that. So it's ideal for contractors who offer planning and operational support. Next is technical and engineering, or T&E. This domain focuses on high-end system engineering, integration, and applied technology solutions. Perfect for firms with strong technical expertise. Now, I should mention that I've seen many IT companies also participate in T&E and some in R&D, the next one, domains under OASIS Plus, because a lot of T&E work, overlaps with IT services as well. So that if you're an IT company, this is an area that perhaps you can actually go for. Then there is research and development, or R&D. This is where innovation happens, from scientific studies to prototype development, supporting agencies that are, exploring new frontiers. Intelligence services is a critical domain tailored for agencies with national security missions, obviously. It includes intelligence analysis, counterintelligence, and specialized defense support services. Then we have enterprise solutions. This is exclusive to the unrestricted pool, so it's not for small businesses. It's for large-scale integrated services that cross multiple domains, the domains that we've listed here. and it's ideal for firms offering end-to-end federal solutions, large firms. We also have environmental domain. We'll have to see what remains of this, considering the new administration's view on environmental contracts. This includes consulting, sustainability services, remediation, and environmental policy work. And then we have facilities domain. This is another important area. It covers operations, maintenance, infrastructure support, so ensuring agencies can manage their buildings and assets efficiency. And finally, logistics. This includes everything from supply chain management all the way to transportation and warehousing, supporting the government's needs to move and manage resources globally. So these are the 8 domains that define the structure of OASIS Plus, and they represent a broad range, as you can see, of opportunities for contractors to support federal missions across nearly every sector. So if the opportunity is not IT, it will fall here, especially in the services area under GSA. Okay, what about the task order engagement for current awardees? For those already awarded on OASIS Plus contracts, active engagement in task orders is not just beneficial, it's essential. I mean, maintaining your contract status requires consistent participation and responsiveness to agency needs. So they're going to put out more and more task orders, and you need to actually respond to them. GSA's eBuy platform serves as the central hub for accessing task orders, so you can see the task orders there. You need to get familiar with this system and take prompt actions on opportunities, and this, can significantly enhance your success rate. You also need to develop a robust capture and proposal strategy, and it's crucial to do that. Tailoring your responses to align with agency expectations and showing your unique value proposition will set you apart from the competition. Obviously, this is something we do at GDI Consulting. We're here to support you through this process. We have a special program for OASIS Plus contractors, helping them, identifying opportunities, preparing detailed proposal development, and thorough compliance reviews, all designed to maximize your chances for securing task orders under OASIS Plus. Okay, so this table shows you, because there might be a question, where should you go? Should you go for GSA Mass or should you go for OASIS Plus? So let's take a quick side-by-side look at GSA Mass and OASIS Plus from your contractor's point of view. So GSA Mass is broad. It covers a wide range of products and services, and it's often used for buying commercial items. If you're selling hardware, office supplies, or standard consulting services, Mass is likely where those purchases land. Task orders tend to be smaller and more frequent, and the barrier to entry is relatively low, mainly pricing and some basic compliance. On the other hand, on OASIS Plus, it is focused squarely on complex, mission-driven professional services. So it's designed for integrated service delivery, like, think logistics, management, consulting, R&D, and enterprise solutions. And then these are typically larger strategic contracts from both, obviously, civilian and defense agencies. Evaluation is more rigorous. You need strong past performance, and your qualifications are scored against a self-assessment model to get on OASIS Plus, and then later on task orders. If you could say, if Mass is about selling through a catalog, at least for product-based services, OASIS Plus is more like competing for a seat at a table for high value recurring work, sort of, so to say. So this is where you should land. Many companies, I know of are on both, in fact. So especially those, obviously OSS Plus is not for supplies. So if you're just a supply company and commodities and that sort of thing, even IT hardware, you should not go for OASIS Plus. GSA Mass is for you. But if you're for services, then I think both of them are useful for you. GSA Mass are for smaller, quicker, run for the opportunity type work, and OASIS Plus is for the larger, more extensive opportunities. So I know many services companies are on both of these. Okay. Now, why non-IT service firms should consider OASIS Plus? So many federal agencies are shifting large service contracts away from open market and even GSA Mass to some extent to OASIS Plus. At least this we have heard. We'll have to see what happens. OASIS Plus is built for management, logistics, R&D, and facility support, not just, not IT. So if you're a non-IT company, you can go for it. Unlike Mass, OASIS Plus awards high-value task orders with longer term and recurring revenue. So it's more strategic if you go for it. And being on OASIS Plus increases obviously your visibility for specialized services and strengthens your pipeline. So a lot of non-IT services are going for OASIS Plus, and as I mentioned, a lot of IT services companies are going for OASIS Plus. For example, if I'm not mistaken, take my numbers a little bit as approximate, but we had 98 contracts or clients. We had 98 clients for OASIS Plus. We helped them get on OASIS Plus, and I think 34 of them were IT companies. And these IT companies could actually leverage their past performance and go for T&E and R&D. So that's an area that IT companies can also go for. Okay, moving forward, let's look at Alliant 3 also, the overview and strategic importance. Now, Alliant 3 is GSA's next generation GWAC for complex IT solutions. I don't know if you know the history of Alliant. So they started with Alliant 1, then went to Alliant 2. They had both the unrestricted and small business size to Alliant 2, but there were so many protests against the small business side of Alliant 2 that they actually canceled it. So it never got on its feet. So they only had Alliant 2 unrestricted, and then instead of that, they had other vehicles for small businesses for IT. So in Alliant 3, they continued the tradition for going just unrestricted. Now, the scope covers AI, cybersecurity, cloud, big data, software development, and more. So it covers nearly everything about IT. And as I said, it's unrestricted contract vehicle, ideal for large and mid-sized businesses. It's used across DoD, DHS, VA, Treasury, and many civilian agencies. It's a 10-year contract, multi-billion-dollar contract dealing, and then obviously enterprise-grade task orders under it. I should also mention that going back to Alliant 3, it was awarded, not awarded, it was it has started the source selection phase, so submission has closed by April 11th of this year. So for those of you who did not get on it, The opportunity will be available in 2027, perhaps, or maybe even 2028. We'll have to see when they open up on-ramp. They're going to have an on-ramp on Alliant 3, but it will be probably 2 years' time from now. Polaris. So Polaris is GSA GWAX for small business IT. As I mentioned, when they got so many protests under Alliant 2, small business, they canceled that, and now they have Polaris. So Polaris is a government-wide GWAC type for small business in IT. It also covers emerging technologies like AI, cloud, cybersecurity, and others. It has 4 different set-aside pools: women-owned small business, hub zone, service disabled, and general small business. It has flexible task orders across civilian and defense agencies, and great fit for firms graduating from 8A or growing beyond subcontracting. So now it is competitive, yes, but it is worth it. And this one too, they are going to we'll have to see the developments considering the new executive orders on Polaris as well. Okay, so what if you're not on them? As I mentioned, if you're not on Alliant, if you're an IT company, you're not on these. If you're not on Alliant 3, proposals were submitted, as I said, on April 11th. So expect on-ramping in 2027 or 2028. For Polaris, small business pool awarded on December 30th last year. 102 small businesses were awarded. The 3 other set-asides, women-owned, STV, OSP, and hub zones will be awarded in 2025. And next possible on-ramping will be in 2026 or 2027, and you should get ready for that. What you should do if you're not awarded on it, best course of action right now is to partner with existing awardees if you're not already on these, and this will allow you to get experience for future. It gets your foot in the door on the current opportunities while positioning you for the next round. Okay, so and just to mention what we provide for GSA opportunities, as I want to wrap up the presentation. So we provide free consultation to assess your position and goals and provide consultation to you. It's free, so by all means use it. For GSA Mass, we handle onboarding, SIN additions, and change management. If you're going after OASIS Plus, Alliant 3 or Polaris will provide complete proposal development from scoring to submission. OASIS Plus is coming up in a couple of months or more. The on-ramping season, Alliant 3 and Polaris are later on in a few years' time. So for those who are not on OASIS Plus, now is the time to act and start preparing your proposals for them, and we can actually provide support for you. As I mentioned, we help 98 companies, and 97 of them actually won, if I'm not mixing up my numbers. So we had a 98% win rate on OASIS Plus. So we can help you win on OASIS Plus, and if you're not on it, by all means do so. We also provide capture management and pipeline development for those of you who are already on OASIS Plus or are on Mass or are on Alliant 2 and other vehicles, HCATs, and so on and so forth. We provide opportunity identification and to build up your pipeline, manage your capture strategy, and deliver business development consulting that aligns your growth with where the market is actually headed. So as I said earlier, whether you're new to GSA or scaling up, we're here to help you win smarter and faster. Okay, we have a few minutes to answer some questions. Before that, let me actually provide our contact info for those of you who don't have that. So my contact info and my colleague, Maroon Freedy, who manages the sales inquiries, are listed here. Email and phone number. Email is the preferred method. By all means, reach out to us. As I said, we can hold consulting sessions, free consulting sessions with you to help you navigate the new changes and what your strategy should be moving forward. Okay, having said that, let's start the Q&A session then. Okay, so there are a lot of questions and we are out of time already, but let me answer a few questions. I'm seeing a lot of sales related questions, which I will forward to my colleague Maroon to respond to by email. So, and yes, we provide services to get you on GSA Mass as well as OASIS Plus. I'll skip these. So, question from Perry. If I missed Alliant 3 or Polaris, what's the realistic timeline and process for on-ramping? Okay, as I mentioned, perhaps you wrote this before I mentioned it. For on-ramping for Alliant 3, it's expected around 2027 or 2028. Polaris may offer another on-ramping as early as 2026, especially for new small business pools or expansions. In the meantime, the best strategy, as I mentioned, is to partner with awarded vendors, build relevant past performance, and prepare your documentation and self-scoring to be ready well in advance when those on-ramping seasons open. Question from Tom. Tom asks, how do I know if pursuing GSA Mass is right for my business, and what are the red flags you watch for before recommending a no-go? GSA Mass is right for you if you have a consistent commercial or government past performance. If you can cover competitive pricing and are ready to market proactively. So red flags include no past performance, no clear differentiators, pricing misalignment with competitors, for example, or lack of readiness to support the compliance workload. As far as we're concerned, we always perform an eligibility assessment before recommending next steps, so we can actually help you on that. Question from Jane. If I use commercial or state local performance for my Mass or OASIS Plus proposal, will I get less marks? No, Jane. Both GSA Mass and OASIS Plus explicitly allow commercial and state and local past performance to be used. And there's no distinction between them and federal contracts. Of course, there are some requirements such as value of the contract or when it was completed, which are more stringent in OASIS Plus. But as far as the actual contract being the source of the contract, there's no distinction and there's no plus or minus for it. Question from Stephen. What are some effective strategies for standing out on e-buy task orders where competition is high and pricing is tight? Okay, some of the things that I can think of. One is speed and responsiveness. So you really need to focus on that early, respond to the Q&A early, intent to bid if there's one early. So be responsive. Your technical response must be a tailored one using, if possible, insider knowledge from previous similar efforts. Pricing. Your pricing must be smart, not necessarily the lowest, but justifiable value with differentiators. And then if available, you should leverage existing relationship with buyers, if there's one. And overall, we help our clients develop proposals and price to win strategies to optimize their e-buy submission. So we can actually help you on that. Okay, question from Amanda. For service-oriented companies, how can I increase visibility on mass without relying only on GSA Advantage? Okay, so you need to have a proactive outreach strategy. That's the second avenue I'm talking about that we discussed, 3 different avenues. First one was GSA Advantage, second one was marketing, third one was task orders. I'm talking about the second one, which is marketing. So build a targeted agency list, list of agencies, target them, market through capability statement. So you have to have a good capability statement, respond to eBuy RFQs and RFIs, and not necessarily to get the task orders, but to know your contracting officers, be in front of them, attend industry days, and optimize your GSA e-library profile. So all of these are important. So visibility is about showing up where the buyers are, not just sitting back and waiting. So you have to be in front of them. Question from Charles. We are a mixed IT and R&D company. What is the difference between how agencies use MAS and OASIS Plus for our type of services, and how should that change our approach? We are already on both. Okay, so MAS is often used, as I mentioned, for transactional or lower complexity service buys, especially recurring needs or those easily defined by SINs. On the other hand, OASIS Plus is used for mission critical, integrated, or multidisciplinary services, and often in higher dollar ranges. So your approach to OASIS Plus should include more aggressive capture and shaping, while for MAS, it requires persistent outreach and rapid response readiness. So different approaches for each. Next question from Sheila. You mentioned a 98% win rate on self-scoring proposals. What makes these opportunities so different from traditional RFPs? Okay, so it's actually inherent in how to prepare the proposal. In effect, from the beginning if you have a very high chance or not. This is a new system. And actually, many companies are not familiar with it. That's why training in self-scoring is really a must. I recommend that you participate in our training courses for self-scoring, because self-scoring is the way to go in the future, so you should be really familiar with it. Let me pick one other question. Question from Joe. How can I evaluate which SINs I should add to my GSA MAS contract to stay competitive? Okay, so we can discuss this in details if you can jump on a call and discuss, but overall what I can say is start analyzing agency buying trends. There are tools like SSQ Plus or USAspending.gov, so use those. Competitor offerings, so check yourself with those. Your own past performance and growth plans. You should take that into account. Adding the right SINs can open the door to more RFQs, obviously, but only if you're prepared to respond to them. And in fact, this is where we can actually help you assess the SIN strategy and submit modification packages. Okay, so there are a lot of more questions, but we have run out of time. We're already past the 1 hour. I highly recommend that you contact us, jump on a call, and we can actually discuss a one-on-one, any questions that you might have. I thank you for participating in this webinar. We're going to have more webinars. As I mentioned, that executive order for the DoD will probably require a webinar by itself. And also at the end, as I mentioned, I highly recommend that you all take advantage of the training, self-scoring trainings that we are going to hold. I will post the link here in a minute. And if you can't get that, just contact us and we can discuss how you can actually get that training. Now, also, if you were unable to download the presentation slide deck, just write so on the chat system, right on the chat that you didn't get it and you want it, And since I have your emails when you registered, I can actually send it to you. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.